Imagine being offered a life-changing sum of money. The challenge? Stay locked in a completely white, featureless room for 50 days. That's the premise facing Mike and Kate. $5 million if they can last the duration together. Sounds almost too easy, right? They hear the offer, and like most people would, they're instantly ecstatic. Mike's practically dancing with excitement. This is their ticket out. So, brimming with confidence, Mike brings Kate into the massive, sterile white space. They barely hesitate before Mike slams the big red start button on the wall. A digital clock immediately begins counting down. 49 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes. The challenge has officially begun. Of course, there's a catch, isn't there always? If either of them decides to leave before the 50 days are up, the prize money plummets to just $1 million for whoever remains. Mike confidently declares that won't happen. They're in this together. The room itself is incredibly bare. Pure white walls, floor, ceiling. There's a white bed platform and a single white bench. That's pretty much it. No phones, no internet, no connection to the outside world. All they have is each other for company. And maybe that's the real test. They start dreaming about the future, what they'll do with the money. Mike sees himself finally becoming the artist he's always wanted to be. Kate, more pragmatically, plans to invest it, make the money grow. A slight difference in priorities, but they're still riding the initial wave of excitement. They explore their new minimalist prison. They discover a hidden bathroom, also completely white. A screen nearby lays out the house rules. Life here is rigidly scheduled. Lights automatically turn on at 7 a.m. and off at 10 p.m. And food? A button promises food treats. Feeling peckish, Mike orders something. A small dispenser opens, presenting a carton of white liquid. He takes a whiff. Nothing. He takes a sip. Tastes like, well, barely anything. Like gray water, he complains. So much for the promised 5-star treatment. But the thought of $5 million makes the bland goo seem bearable. The first night falls. Lights out. Pitch black except for the clock's glow. Mike tries to get close to Kate, but the awkwardness, the thought of being watched, it halts him. Remember that bathroom rule? Only one person at a time? Suddenly, it makes a chilling kind of sense. Privacy is controlled. Day 2 arrives. Kate tries to psych herself up in the bathroom mirror. They try talking, chatting about art, literature, life, but they know each other inside out. Shockingly quickly, they run out of fresh topics. The silence starts to creep in. Boredom becomes the new resident in the immaculate room. Kate tries meditating, finding inner peace amidst the white void. Mike just stares blankly at the clock, watching the seconds tick by with agonizing slowness. To kill time, they regress to childhood games. Patty cake tag, dancing ridiculously. Anything to feel something, to pass the endless hours. And mealtime always means more of the same tasteless nutrient paste. Fast forward nearly a month. Day 27. The novelty is long gone. The games are stale, the conversation non-existent. Then, Mike spots something. Movement. It's a tiny cockroach, the first living creature they've seen besides themselves. It feels like a miracle, a tiny companion. Mike even tries to share his nutrient goo with it. A stern voice interrupts from hidden speakers. Food is provided for contestants only. Feeding other contestants is strictly forbidden. Ouch. The poor cockroach looks like it's dying. Mike wants to save it, to open the door just briefly and let it out. Kate is horrified. Are you insane? Open that door and we lose $4 million. It's just a roach, she argues. For her, the money outweighs everything. They argue fiercely. Then, seemingly by accident, Kate's foot comes down. The cockroach is gone. Mike is speechless, heartbroken by the casual cruelty. A chilling silence descends. The mood turns sour. They enter a Cold War phase, barely speaking. The boredom, now mixed with resentment, is almost unbearable. Mike then remembers another option on the screen. Treat. They can purchase a treat, something beyond the basic goo. But it comes at a steep price. $100,000 for the first one, deducted from their potential winnings. It's non-refundable, even if they fail the challenge. Desperate for a change, Kate agrees. Mike presses the button. What luxury will $100,000 buy them? The dispenser opens again. Inside is a single green crayon. $100,000 for a crayon. But Mike, the aspiring artist, is strangely delighted. He immediately starts drawing on the pristine white walls. Green lines snake across the sterile surface, bringing a semblance of life and creativity. Kate watches aghast. To her, it's just an absurdly expensive, foolish purchase. Their values clash yet again. The rift widens. Later, fuming, Kate goes into the bathroom, and she finds something else waiting, a handgun resting on the counter. It wasn't there before. It's clearly been placed there by their unseen hosts. What kind of sick psychological game is this? They nervously decide to hide the gun, tucking it under the bed. But now, there's literally a weapon hidden between them. Just when the tension feels like it can't escalate further. A section of the wall slides, opens silently, and out walks a beautiful woman, completely naked. Mike's jaw drops. What kind of treat is this? Kate walks out of the bathroom, freezing at the sight. The newcomer introduces herself as Simone. She seems perfectly calm. Mike frantically tries to rationalize. It's a trick. The organizers put her here to test us. Kate, though visibly shaken, forces herself to agree, her eyes still on the prize money. Simone immediately starts praising Mike's green crayon art. She's charming and flirty towards Mike. Mike gets flustered. Kate watches, her expression hardening. Nighttime comes again. The sleeping arrangement is now impossible. Mike suggests he sleeps in the middle, perhaps for insulation. Kate will have none of it, practically throws him to the edge. The three lie rigidly in bed, the air thick with unspoken tension. Kate wakes the next morning. Simone is gone, just vanished. Was she recalled by the organizers? But she left a memento, another message written in green crayon on the wall. It implies intimacy, thanking Mike for something specific. Kate explodes. She screams at Mike, accusing him. He vehemently denies it, confused, suggesting maybe the treats caused hallucinations. Kate doesn't believe him. Years of suppressed frustration boil over. The argument becomes physical. Kate shoves Mike violently. He loses his balance, slams his head hard against a corner of the white wall structure. Blood immediately starts pouring down his neck and back. It's a nasty wound. The shock and pain seem to clear Mike's head. He understands with terrifying clarity. This room is toxic. They need to get out. He's bleeding badly. He needs medical help. But Kate is frantic, obsessed with the clock. We're so close. Just a few more days. The millions have blinded her to everything else, even Mike's injury. She refuses to let him leave. She scrambles for the hidden gun. Pointing it shakily, she yells, "You can't just throw away millions. It's wrong." Mike looks at her, at the desperate, unrecognizable woman she's become. He knows there's no winning here. Staying means risking death from his injury or from her madness. Leaving now forfeits the money, but maybe it saves them? Saves her? With a heavy heart and a bleeding head, he turns towards the exit button. He walks steadily across the white floor, Kate still aiming the gun. He reaches the wall, his hand outstretched to the glowing red button. He presses it. The main doors slide open, revealing darkness beyond. Mike has ended their challenge. Kate collapses onto the white floor, utterly alone. She lost the money, and she lost Mike. Was it worth it? She has to endure the final 12 days alone in the crushing silence. We see her curled up, tormented by loneliness and regret. She traces the green crayon lines Mike left, the messages of love from a time that feels ancient now. Perhaps she finally understands the true cost. The final seconds tick down. Kate slowly approaches the exit button herself. We cut to the outside world 1 year later. Mike is jogging at night, trying to sweat out the past. He stops short. Kate is standing there on the sidewalk. They lock eyes. No words are needed. The experiences in that room have irrevocably changed them. There's a vast gulf between them now, filled with hurt and regret. They just look at each other, the weight of their choices heavy in the air. And the story ends there, leaving us to ponder the price of perfection and the value of humanity.